Right, welcome back to the 4WDing podcast driven by Shelter, music by the Southern River Band, Let It Ride to lead us in, the 4WDing podcast on Instagram and all our episodes over on BackChat's YouTube channel. Or wherever you listen to your podcast, you'll find us on YouTube at the BackChat Studios. So, yeah, this is the 4WDing podcast. We'll get it going now. So sorry if we repeat ourselves with a couple of things to the live audience. But like we said, our first show on the live stage, which is really exciting. It's my first time sort of doing any of this, really, this podcast run, so bear with me, and I'll be throwing to Ronny for most of the show with what we're going to get into, and we'll try and make it a little bit interactive as well. If you guys got questions at the end, obviously we said there's a giveaway for some of the better questions, so we'll move through this. But Ronny, mate, you Duck said you hitchhiked over, but you actually drove your new troopy over, so how'd you find the trip?
I found it pretty good. I did it in 2.5 days, which sounds stupid and reckless, but I actually got adequate sleep. I jump out of the car a lot and run around the car, but here's my trick to stay alert and keep driving. Well, number one is coffee, but the other one is when you need to go to the loo, you overtake a road train, because then you can't go. Then you overtake the next one, and the next one, and you're busting so much, eventually you got to pull over. But yeah, that's my trick.
Yep. And then your new long-range fuel tank went in just before you left. You was a bit of trouble with that early on, but how many times did you have to fill up?
I filled up 3 times, and I've still got a full tank on the main tank. So I swapped the rear tank for a 180-litre tank. I installed it myself, and it wasn't easy. They say 3 hours. It took like 7 hours with interruptions, with Jono helping me as well. So
that's a good shake. And the ease of camping in the rooftop conversion now.
That helped
when
a
you're
lot.
Pulling in. Obviously, it's quite. Everyone's aware that you likes to find camping in the dark. So
yes, there'll be plenty of camps found in the dark. So I had my camps planned out the whole way. Always do that when I cross the Nullarbor or cross to the other side. But what I didn't plan for was Google going, by the way, if you go south and go through Victoria, you're going to save an hour. And I was like, that's a no-brainer. So I did that. And then once I passed, because that was from in Petersburg in South Australia, once I did that, then I got myself in trouble because I've got no campsites pre-thought about. I've never done that road before. So I was driving for an hour, then it became 2 hours, and then I had to actually leave the highway and find somewhere. That was a bit of a mistake there, but...
Lessons learnt. For everyone here, why'd you go down? Obviously, you got the 79, and you've chosen to get a second car in the Troopy, which is sort of, you haven't gone other end of the spectrum. So why'd you go with the Troopy on top of the 79?
It's a good question. I've just always looked at them, always thought about them, and I did a video a while back where I was rating vehicle types from 1 to 10. And completely not thinking of being favourable to anything. It was just complete unbiased thoughts. And then at the end, it turned out to be the Troopy. But then I always thought about the Troopy as being a 2-seater, right? Because they're commonly a 2-seater vehicle. And then I flirted with the idea, what if you made one that was a 4-seater? And then I started investigating more. And then at that point, I was like, well, I've got 2 utes. What's the point of having 2 utes? And I was contemplating selling one of the utes. I even flirted with selling the 79 because I had the Hilux, and then I decided to sell the Hilux to buy the Troopy because it just came up on car sales. And that Troopy cost me $1 per kilometre it had done, so 77,000 kilometres. Traded the Hilux in, got 72 for that, COVID price, and then gave the car dealer some money, as you reluctantly do, and then got the Troopy, and then started all over again. Yeah,
so the 4-seat conversion that you've done is not common in all the troop carrier conversions that you'll see around here. So why? What was the inspiration behind it, and who have you seen to get that done?
So the inspiration behind that was because I wanted to do the lap, and I thought the lap's easier to do with a vehicle that has a pop top. So this is also a big part of why I went for the Troopy, so I could have the pop top, because if I leave a vehicle around the country, which is fine, but if I get a late flight, I come in and I just want to sleep before I drive hundreds of k's to find somewhere to park it, I can't just roll out a swag in the middle of town, but I can cheekily pop that roof, get some hours in, and then continue on. That was one of the reasons. The other reason why I needed to be 4 seats was because I want to camp. I want to keep it so my whole family can still get in there. So the 2 seats in the back, obviously for my 2 young girls, 12 and 9 years old, and then for the wife as well. So although the wife doesn't like camping that much anymore unless it's base camping, she does want to see like Darwin and Brisbane, and she loves Melbourne. So she likes the hotel kind of stuff. So this enables us to have a vehicle there so I can fly them with me, hang out, and then they'll fly back and then I'll continue on the trip and get it to another city. That's the whole plan. That's the 2024 plan.
Now with diesel at the price that it is, what was it on the? I know you only filled up 3 times, but what was it across the Nullarbor?
Well, it was up there. So I filled up at Norseman and that was $2.20. And then I skipped all the $2.80. I think there was even one that was like edging to $3, but not quite there. And then when I got to Penang, which is almost Seduna, that was $2.22. So
yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
and then once I got
at the moment.
Yeah. Then once I got into Victoria, so $2.19.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
So
well, it's a good little prelude because I suppose what we do on a podcast episode is we sort of come in with a topic and obviously you guys will get you involved shortly, but this one is the future of 4-wheel driving and what it'll look like, and I think it's an interesting perspective to get your take on it, Ronnie, as someone that's been around for a long time now and driven the big heavy diesel cars and all of that, but it just on a blank canvas, really broad, what is the future of 4-wheel driving in your eyes?
The future of 4-wheel driving I think it's going to need a bit of help from the people actually going to use the tracks and the camps. We need to be more conscious of like keeping the place clean, do whatever we can to keep the tracks open, because it doesn't take much to close places and things, and we are seeing places close a lot around us. So that's one aspect of the future. The other aspect of the future is electrical vehicles. Are they going to be any good? Are they going to have the range, or is a hybrid good enough? What's happening with diesel? What actual vehicles are coming out that are actually made for 4-wheel drive? What's actually out there that's still capable of being a tough rig? A vehicle that can have all these accessories bolted on, like this one over here and that one over there. They've got a lot of gear on them. A lot of vehicles at this show have a lot of gear on them. And it's the question of, can these vehicles take all this weight with the smaller engines, the smaller gearboxes, 10-speed gears? Because I've test-driven a few vehicles, and one in particular, which I guess we'll talk about in the podcast, this didn't fare too well in certain aspects. Yeah.
Are you open to electric 4-wheel drives?
Definitely, in a sense of hybrid. Okay. Yeah.
So why? So full electric?
Yeah.
You don't think it's going to make it?
We just don't have the infrastructure or the range. Depending on what you're going to do, like if you're mainly around town, you're going to follow those main highways where there are infrastructure that's going to be in place to charge your vehicle. Yeah, sure. But you can't just put out a 300-watt solar panel and charge your car. You need like 10 300-watt panels.
Yep. Are you a fan of how some of them actually are starting to look, though, or are you more? So I think we've got that's the Rivian, I believe.
Yeah. I'm actually a big fan of that one.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. It's
like, as in its capabilities or just the look?
As in its capabilities, actually. So the only thing that lets this vehicle down in my mind is the fact that it's pure electrical. So you're not going to be able to charge it. I mean, it's cool. It's like a skateboard underneath. It's flat. It's got 4 wheels. Each wheel has an engine driving those wheels. So no need for lockers or anything. It does its own thing. It's got tank turn. So 2 wheels will spin backwards and the other 2 will spin forwards. It can turn.
It's like a 0-point turn.
Yeah, it can
feature.
turn
yeah,
on
right.
Yeah.
I do love that on the just that empty
yeah.
cavity underneath.
That is cool. So they've done a pull-out kitchen. When I was at the Arizona,
I've seen that. Yeah.
Overland West in Arizona in 2019, before COVID sort of hit, they had this kitchen that come out, induction cookers and everything. The thing is, there's so much power in these cars. You can run electrical stuff all day. It's just when you drive and you move in the vehicle, you are going to need to recharge it. How do you recharge it? You don't have to carry a generator if you're in Australia. That said, I was talking to a guy at a shopping centre, of all things, with the Tesla, and he was saying that the infrastructure in WA, there's a particular road. So if they're doing this in WA, they're going to do this nationwide. Great Northern Highway, minimum distance. The maximum distance between a charge point is 170 kilometres to charge your electrical vehicle. Where there's no roadhouse, there's going to be a big diesel generator charging that car.
Yeah, right. So Perth to Broome.
Yeah.
Is that Perth to Broome, basically?
Yeah, essentially. So you could go Perth to Broome.
Huge distance, yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's a huge distance, but you could do it. The problem is when you go off-grid, you can't really do that in there.
You got to come back out to the highway every time you need charge. Yeah. So how does a hybrid? Is that that's the Cybertruck, the Tesla Cybertruck? Yeah.
So with the Cybertruck,
I don't like the look of that.
Yeah, they're super cool. I think with the Cybertruck, it's got a motor driving each back wheel and one driving the two front wheels.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So the hybrid. Explain the hybrid then to me. In a four-wheel drive sense, how do you think that?
So the conventional four-wheel drive has, the conventional drive line. You've got your drive shafts, you've got your gearboxes, all that stuff. With an electric vehicle, it's direct drive to the tyres, to the wheels. So it's, you got these electrical motors there. You don't have the combustion engine, you don't have all the drive shafts and all that kind of stuff. It's just flat surface underneath. So essentially like a big skidding plate, like a skateboard. A skateboard with a hidden battery and all the other wizardry. With a hybrid, it's just like any other four-wheel drive, except it has an electrical motor as well. That means that you still have the drive line, it still works like a conventional vehicle, but you have the ability to run just electrical. The thing is, you can charge that battery by driving it. So as long as you got adequate fuel, you can put an extended range on it. That's where I can see a hybrid vehicle could work. Yep. And I'll be keen to try that one day, but not a full electric. I just don't think. Yep. Yeah.
Not in the market. So diesel and petrol. Then touch on that a little bit and how you think that sort of maybe the next 10 years is looking for that.
Yeah, I think the next 10. It's very speculative, but I reckon the next 10 years it'll be mainly hybrid petrol. I don't think we'll ever see a hybrid diesel. Diesel is better for carrying loads and slow torque, climbing hills and all that. But the thing is, we also got to realise that vehicle manufacturers, they're not making it for this tiny percentage of four-wheel drivers. They're making it for the masses, and that's why we're seeing electric cars and all that. So they're not thinking about Australian conditions, you're off-grid. However, there is one vehicle that has come out recently that is designed for just off-road. And they've got a petrol, a diesel, and there's an electrical option coming.
What's that?
That's the Ineos Grenadier.
Oh, right. Yeah. We still haven't been over to that tent, actually, to have a look in there.
They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now, I've been a passenger in one, but I haven't actually driven one. And the world's first pop top on a Grenadier is over that way.
Yeah, right. Yep.
It looks awesome.
Yeah. No, that's they've been sort of, I feel like they've been on in the background, but now to see them, there's a good bunch of them over the road there, so it'll be good to go and have a look. But
there's been a lot of criticism on it, like people speculating. And,
okay.
They've had a few court battles with Land Rover as well, because it looked too much like a Defender. Yeah.
I get that. We're moving on from the vehicles a little bit, and you touched on it before about the other part of the future of four-wheel driving. Tracks, private property, all this. It feels like there's a little bit less and less now to actually access it.
Yeah.
Is that true? What's the reason?
I think there's less and less close to us, and a lot of time it's not from grubs trashing it for us. It's also infrastructure. Like councils realise, we can sell all this land. So
the sprawl.
Yeah. So especially around Perth, it's like a place called Wilbinga. Used to be able to go there. Used to have like surf spots and all that. But then all of a sudden, one day I was out with my dad, and he noticed that on his TomTom, on his GPS, there was all these streets through the dunes we're driving. And I was like, what's that? And then sure enough, 2 years later, they're bowling it over, and they're putting in infrastructure.
Yeah. So that. Is it? I don't know if it's like, are the government, sort of the parks and the state parks, national parks, forests, whatever they are they getting nervous by what's going on out there with all this There is a lot of speculation, like you say, but
yeah, it's hard to say. There's a lot of different factors coming in. I think like population growth, and then you also like just seems red tape's going to be everywhere now, and the Department of Wildlife. If you get a certain ranger in there, you know, I don't want to get too political, but maybe you get a greenie in there, they're going to start shutting places down. You know.
Yep.
And that's just the nature of it. But that's where, you know, that's why remote travel, you know, you gear up for remote travel, none of that stuff matters, you know. I just think the stuff that's going to be more restrictive and what you can do less and what's going to be maybe less enjoyable in 10 years' time is the close to town areas, because you're going to have such big populations there and stuff. Like, put it this way, I don't go anywhere nearby town during Easter, Christmas, or like Australia Day. Yeah.
Yep. I'll quickly go back to the vehicles. I forgot one thing. We've spoken about it a little bit on our podcast before, but for the people here, the new 70 series with the Hilux engine.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So how many people in the audience own a 70 series? Is there anyone? There's a couple over there, yep. So with the 70 series being a V8 diesel and as a manual, they're now bringing out a four-cylinder, 2.8 litre. This one here. The look's growing on me, actually, by the way.
It has?
I hate it to start with, but I actually don't mind it. It looks kind of classic. It's like the old classic Toyota.
Yep.
So they're putting in the 2.8 litre. They're putting in a 6-speed auto. Now, having had the Hilux version, you know, the same, I'm guessing it's the exact same running gear. I put 33s on that, and I never got 6th gear ever again. So bye-bye 6th gear. So bye-bye fuel economy. So bigger tyres. I actually, before I decided to sell it, I was actually going to downgrade the tyre size again so I could get more drivability out of it. I mean, looks do matter to a degree, but that was just, that was no good. So what I'm concerned about is this vehicle here. A lot of people put 33s, 35s on them. Is it going to be geared to hold that? And if it is, yeah, that'll be fine. So it might be okay on fuel, but given the shape of that thing, Hilux, Prado with that engine, they're very much more aerodynamic. With the 70, once you get to 90, above 90, you're just chewing the fuel, as you guys will know, right? Let's not even go there, about fuel. But imagine like the 2.8 litre, is that going to be able to be more fuel efficient? Maybe around town, but what if you start loading it up like this vehicle over here? You start putting all that stuff on it. Imagine a 79 with everything on it, and it's up to like 4 tonne, you know, which a lot of 79s are. They are up to 4 tonne. I mean, they're over GVM, some of them under, but let's face it, they've got a lot of gear on them. Is that gearbox going to be able to handle it? And the reason why I question that is because a mate of mine, Harry from Fire to Fork, he blew up his, I think it was the front diff or something, on his Prado. I know it's a different diff, but you know, it couldn't handle the big build and towing a trailer.
And the new Prado as well, while we're touching on the Toyota side of it, does that look growing on you at all?
Oh, I like that straight away. That's cool.
Oh, you like that straight away, did you?
Yeah. I thought that looked really cool.
Progressive of you.
Yeah. I've got used to seeing the 300, I guess.
Yeah, true.
It looks very similar to that, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, I like it. What do you guys think about the 2.8 litre 70 series, or?
Oh, back in the 70? Yeah, he's not sure. He's sceptical as well? Yeah. Need to see it to believe it, right? That there definitely looks like a 300. Like, do you guys, who digs that? Do you guys dig that? Nah, yeah. Like, yeah, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, of course. Yeah. No, I get that. There's many cars that I dislike as well, you know, but I reckon that might grow, you know, because when the Hilux came out, the N70, I hated the look of that. 2 years later, I bought one.
Yeah, it just takes time, I reckon.
Yeah.
But you've grown quick on that one, so I didn't think you would. So.
No, yeah, it's straight away, yeah.
Will you have your Troopy in 10 years' time?
If it's still running and it's not rusted, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's a long term.
Yeah, that's a long term. Yeah,
forever.
I'm that far invested in it. Look, I have had quite a bit of help from sponsors, but there's quite a bit of coin tipped in there as well. So.
Yep. No worries.
To build something like that, you've got to hold on to it for a long time. That's the thing.
To get your money's worth.
Yeah, exactly. If there's a car you're going to flip every 5 years, you wouldn't put that much stuff on it.
Yep. Beautiful. All right, well, let's get on to the car sales quiz, but I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you 3 goes at it, and you're going to guess the price of
so
what we're going for, and then we're going to jump over to these guys here for the giveaway.
So is this what I heard
and some
you
questions.
guys talking about the other day on stitching up there or something?
Yeah, we when you hung up on us, we sorted this out. But I've got these from today, so they're...
Was it something I said?
No, it was because you didn't rock up. These are current, pulled these off today, so...
Okay.
All right, 76 Land Cruiser, 2018 model. Silver, it's a GXL, 64,000 Ks on it. It's fairly stock, apart from a platform rack and clear view mirrors. What price? It's in New South Wales.
How many? 60 Ks?
60,000, 64,000 Ks.
Oh, it would be something ridiculous like 80 grand.
It's not far off, 78,990.
Well, I'll take that.
That's a good tick. That'd probably win you a prize, I reckon. We've got, so the next one, Y62 Nissan Patrol, TI, 2021, silver, 44,000 Ks on the clock, and that is completely stock. Factory floor in New South Wales again, kept in New South Wales.
I have no idea here. I'm just going to say 90 grand.
84. Not bad. Right, last one for you.
Jeez, they're expensive, aren't they?
Toyota Hilux SR5 manual, so it's a 2013 model, the 4-cylinder 3-litre engine, 133,000 Ks, so it hasn't done many Ks. This has got extras, ARB, bull bar and canopy, worn winch, light bar spotties, Safari R-Max snorkel, roof rack, awning, upgraded head unit, UHF, drawers, suspension, all tyres, everything.
Of stuff.
But 2013 manual.
How many Ks?
133,000.
27.
41.
41?
41.
Wow.
So that's where you're getting at for still the old Hilux engines, mate, which are pretty bulletproof. But
I was thinking about being cheeky and saying what I would pay first, and then and then that was probably about half of what I said.
It's
really?
So you're a little bit off, but the first two are pretty good. So we've got a segment here around the fire pit on the 4WDing podcast. It's where we I'll shut the laptop usually and throw to questions and stuff like that we've had through the socials. But we'll start with the car sales quiz for the giveaway for the torch. That could also be used as a baton for protection. But so I'll read it out to you guys. And I think we've got Jono with a mic there if anyone wants to have a crack at it. So I drive a Ford Ranger, so I've gone a Ford Ranger XLT. It's the MK2, so it's a 2018 model. It's an auto, 90,000 kilometres. It's got an aluminium box canopy, so it's got a little bit of tray space at the back, so it's sort of a 3/4 box. It's fitted with shelves, a fridge side, dual battery inverter, got a solar panel on top, a long-range fuel tank, and BF Goodrich tyres. If you we'll take three guesses. Nearest a pin.
Anyone with their phone?
We've got one here. 66 is the first guess. Second guess. Might as well have a crack. Is it? Oh, yeah. Oh, I'll come to you. Sorry, mate. 62. 74. Ooh, we've gone overs here. So
is that one there?
It's actually on for 52. So 62 will get you the. We've gone a bit high. So, mate, that's a free whatever Ronnie's got there for you, mate. Well done.
18,000 looms. But what we failed to tell you was that was a live auction. You've just
bought it.
Yeah. So who was it?
If you're willing to pay that, you can buy my Ranger. Actually,
who was closest?
Up the back there, I reckon.
Sorry, looking at the wrong gentleman.
Yes,
sorry.
Yeah. Up
there you go, mate.
Well done.
18,000 looms. Yeah.
You're going to need one of these to store it, but we'll open it up to you guys if you've got any questions for Ronnie. Floor's yours now if you want any. Jono's got a mic there as well, so we can hear you. But if you've got anything for Ronnie, if not, all good.
They're all good then. Liam's going to keep this.
There's more giveaways, so you might as well ask questions.
So you're a front runner Wolfpack here. These are pretty darn good. They actually seal really good. So you'll find that when you pop the seal in this, it gives you that noise. So who has the question? Okay. Yep.
So other than the electric vehicles being a possibility, Toyota have been looking at hydrogen engines. Do you think that would be a better option for Toyota with range and sound?
So hydrogen was something that really excited me, but the problem with hydrogen, which I learnt by looking on YouTube, just researching it, it costs so much money and resources to make what they call heavy water, to make that hydrogen. So I just don't see it being something attainable for the time being. If it was readily available, yeah, definitely. I reckon that'd be awesome. I know they've got like a racing team or something. Hey, with the hydrogen engine, all that comes out of the exhaust is water vapor. It's pretty cool.
I didn't know that was
looked
into it all. So yeah, I have to do my research on that.
Ronny, you mentioned that you're doing that and starting next year, I believe.
Yes.
Are you going to film it or portions of it? Present it on the channel?
Yeah, 100%. I will be filming that, and it'll be filmed for most. It'll be 90% of it will be on YouTube, and 10% of that will also be on that TV show, the 4WDing adventure show, which is on that 7+. So yeah, definitely going to be doing that. So the idea is I'm planning on starting the canning stock route, and then leave the vehicle in Broome, and then fly back, and then just every city that's easy to fly back to Perth with, that's where I'm going to leave the vehicle, and then just fly in, fly out. So a bit like a FIFO, but exploring around and having a bit of fun. So, and then hopefully making some good content. We just actually came back from a trip down along the Baxter. I've done that run 8 times, and a few eventful things happened there. We had a vehicle rollover where we sort of put back on its wheels, yeah. So there's a few more episodes of that coming out. There's from Israelite Bay to Bilbunya Dunes. It was such an unpleasant time when we got there. The winds were so ferocious, it was like stripping the skin off your legs. That silly head buff I wear sometimes, I wore that to cover my face. There was that much wind, but what we did get was this spectacular show at the dunes. It was crazy, man. Like tie-dye, where you get you see that going out like that. Well, the dunes were doing that. It was insane. It was cool. It was worth getting sand in every orifice, and then along the Baxter and all that as well, and then ended up at Twilight Cove. So if anyone here drives from the East Coast coming across, Cocklebiddy Roadhouse, go in there. Be careful with the toaster sandwiches. Just head straight south and go to Twilight Cove, and you'll have one of the best campsites you'll ever be at, guaranteed. Yeah, even if it's windy, the wind bounces off this big cliff and creates this buffer. It is incredible. So, yeah, sorry, I went a bit off the question there, but yeah. yeah, you're welcome. I think we'll take one more question. Yeah?
Sorry, nothing against you, Ronny, but Liam, where's your favourite trip that you go on? Where do you want to go? And you've been looking around a bit over here about some cars. Which car would you like to buy when it's on your next multi-million-dollar deal?
Multi-million-dollar deal would be nice. That's never going to happen. The place I want to go to, I'd love to do a lap, but I don't have the time to do that at the moment. So one day I will join Ronny on that lap. But I'm going to do the south coast of New South actually. In a month's time, we're starting that trip. So I'll drive over when I get back to Perth and base ourselves in Melbourne and start that. But I'll do a little bit of the south coast of New South Wales, which grew up in Victoria. So I was closer than I am now. But looking forward to that.
What areas are they?
So we're sort of. We've only got a few stops, but we're trying to I should probably ask people out here, but so the Bermagui is the main spot that I'll be sort of heading to. But so the first stop will be Malakuta, Bermagui, checking out Huskisson, but there's a few other little camp spots in there that we'll probably just break up. They're only 2 hours apart, a lot of the towns,
okay.
But
I'm pretending I know where those places are.
Yeah, no, Bermagui is the one spot that I've really wanted to get to. So it's my brother's favourite spot in Australia. So I needed to go and see what he's talking about. So that's that, and then the Troopy is my dream car. So that's why the only reason I hang out with Ronny is to get to sit in his Troopy and I get to place myself out the front of it and look like I own it. So that'll be the dream car. It's sort of, if I had it set up like Ronny's, I'd probably do it no worries right now, but not so practical for the Perth suburbs when I struggle to get out a little bit. Thank you, Daniel.
Should we take one more?
Anyone got another?
Let's take one more. Then it's 1 in 4 chance to win this. I know that people ask the question right now, I want to keep it 1 in 3, but let's make it 1 in 4. Oh, one more question. Someone's got to have one. Yep.
Yes.
Now, my question is, what's the one thing with every car you've ever owned that you always keep in there? For any trip, any emergency or anything like that, what's the one thing that always comes with you?
One thing that always comes with me in the car. It's going to be a boring answer if I just say one thing, but the one thing will be a PLB, like an EPIRB. The second one will be a sat phone, because then, if something happens, I can ring up and go, hey, I need this and this, because if I pull the EPIRB, they'll take me, bye-bye trophy.
Yeah, I've only just first aid kit, and that's been from my first car, which was just a wagon Commodore. So that's just the one thing that's come with me the whole way. So pretty boring answer as well, that one, but a good question.
It's actually a better answer, I reckon, because if I don't have a first aid kit, I can't plug myself up while I'm waiting for the bloody emergency to get on.
Yeah. That was probably where I start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Wrap it
Man,
up.
I don't want to choose I chose last time.
This is kind of your hookups, though. No. I'm not giving it to Daniel. Sorry, mate. That's okay, though. You probably get one easy enough. Gentleman in the front, been sitting here eagerly awaiting your arrival, Ronnie, before, so you can go home with the front runner box.
Yeah.
Well done.
Congratulations, mate. So let's have a look.
There.
So there's all the extras in there, so you can actually strap it down to your roof rack. I will give you the lid, don't worry. There you go. You're welcome.
No worries. And thanks to everyone behind the camera. You got something else.
There's also
there.
a divider kit. So if you don't want to use it in that, you can actually use the divider kit in your drawers. Yeah. They're pretty cool. Yeah.
I actually needed that, so thanks for giving that away. But anyway, thank you for joining us live. And to everyone listening and watching, the 4WDing podcast driven by Shelter. So the Southern River Band, we'd let it ride to see us out, but you know where to find us on the socials and over at BackChat on YouTube. So thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Cheers, guys. Thank you very much.